Hello, Commanders, and welcome back to Elite Dangerous Journey Across the Galaxy. We are continuing our adventures towards Beagle Point. I would normally start in the cockpit, but we're kind of in the middle of a biological cornucopia. We found a planet that has 6 different biological sources on it. I've gotten 1, 2, 3... I think I've gotten 3 out of the 6 so far. I'm not sure where to find... Or no, I think I've gotten 4. I've gotten 4 out of the 6 so far. Now we need to go up into the mountains here and see if we can find the Fungoida and Frutexa, which is honestly going to be a real chore up here in the mountains, assuming we can even locate them. But if we can, it's going to be really nice. So, yeah, that's what we're doing. But anyways, oh, you know what? This. So this is one of the things we're looking for, I'm pretty sure. Yeah. So I need to find a landing spot nearby. So yeah. The problem is that finding a landing spot is going to be virtually impossible up here. So anyways, if you're just joining this series, I generally just try to fly around and have something to talk about. In the last episode, which I just finished, I'm trying to record a couple of extra episodes today for my weekend. This is the problem with trying to go after some of these things, is that you're not going to find good landing spots up here. I generally just try to fly around and do my exobiology and talk as much as I can until I get to the end. Most of the time, I try to have a subject in mind, but because I already had my subject for today and, covered it ad nauseum, I don't really have anything specific to talk about. So until something pops into my mind, I'll just, kind of try to narrate what I'm doing until I have an idea. So yeah, this right here is exactly why I don't tend to bother with Fungoida or Frutexa, because they're always up here in the mountains where you can't land. And I'm not going to try to pull out my SRV. I'm not going to try to go land in a flat area, pull out my SRV, and try to drive it up here in this ridiculous terrain. That's not happening. So, unfortunately, I think this may be a case where we're just going to end up leaving a couple of samples on the planet because I can't find a place to land to grab them. And this highlights one of my main complaints about, the exploration system in this game. There's really no reason I couldn't just hover here and rappel down to the surface while my ship just hangs out. If it can just sit here like this with me in it, there's really no reason it can't just sit here on autopilot waiting for me to come back and just have that little blue column of light pop down on the ground as I come down, and then I just come back. And that functionality is in the game. If you have the advanced docking thing or whatever, it does have an auto landing feature for the ground. And I have seen it when it can't find terrain. If you're on the ground and you've moved into a place where there's nowhere for it to land, it will come and hover on the ground and put that little column of light on the ground for you to do. They don't make it so that you can just do it here, and that makes 0 sense to me. That's a conscious decision that they made to not provide that functionality. So, I don't know. Let's see if we can find that other planet. There was another planet that had, there was another landable planet that had, I gotta remember how to figure that out, though. Yeah, I think we need to go to the system map here. So, let me zoom out. It's going to be one of the ones with atmosphere, so we're on this one. This one had 4 biological signatures, so... As much as I'd love to get the fun, it's not worth the time and frustration that we're going to have to put into finding landing spots or getting out and driving around in the SRV for a ridiculous amount of time, trying to make our way to where we can find those things. So, it is what it is. I'm not gonna lose sleep over a couple of things that they made too difficult to get to. you know, we have this spaceship that flies around and should be able to get us right up to it, but they decided to arbitrarily make it difficult. Whatever. So we'll move on. There, fortunately, we came into a system that had one planet with 6 different biological signatures, and then another one right nearby that has 4. So we're gonna head over to the one that has 4, and start the episode off with some pretty good, with what I would consider an outstanding biological planet. It's insane to me that we came into a system that has 10 different opportunities to go find interesting looking biology. Now, unfortunately, the last planet didn't really have anything that was interesting looking, but it adds to the bank account once we get to the point where we can sell this stuff. All right, so let's get our nope, not what I'm looking for. Let's get our Super Cruise Assist set up. Get ourselves locked onto it, and then we can accelerate at full speed until we get over there. It is going to take us a little bit because we're trying to climb out of the gravity well of this planet. So it's going to take us a little bit to accelerate to the point where we're actually covering some distance, but we'll get there. Yeah, I'm not really sure what I want to talk about for this episode. As I said, this is kind of my... I'm trying to do 3 of these recordings at a time. Not at a time, but I'm trying to do 3 of these recordings today because, I try to have a weekend when my wife is off of work, and I don't want to be recording on her days off. So, I try to get this stuff done. I try to get out, but I still want to have videos posting every day so I can keep the algorithm happy. So I think what I'll do, I think I'm going to probably go ahead and just have it so that I do these Elite Dangerous videos for my days off because they're relatively short. They don't require a crazy heavy time investment. And, I can spend an hour or so making 3 videos, and I think that's a good time investment for keeping content going. So we need to get over here, scan this planet, get down to it, and figure out what we're gonna find here. Hopefully none of them. I mean, with 4 of them, at least one of those signatures are probably going to be up in the mountains. So we're probably not going to get all 4, but we'll get as many as we can. And then depending on how long that actually takes us to get done, we'll either stay on the planet and end the episode there, or we'll go ahead, hop out, and continue on our journey and try to make some distance. But right now we have to wait on the probes here to finish scanning everything. Surface scanned by 50%. And find out what's on the planet. So we got some bacterium, some fungoida, which we're probably not going to get, some frutexa. Wow, this whole planet must be rocky. Well, fungoida is the most rare. So we'll try to land by that, but realistically, in my experience, the fungoida is the hardest to get to, and generally not worth the time it takes to even try to go find any of it, but that's fine. Oh, hold on. I'm gonna turn off. I always forget to turn off the Super Cruise Assist. I want to get around to the light side, because I'm not trying to find this stuff in the dark. So let's come around to this side and try to find a hot spot on this end. I guess down here, maybe? Whoa, slow down, slow down, slow down. So, yeah. We'll start out in this crater here. We'll start out in this bigger crater here. Generally have pretty good luck with finding things inside of craters, so I'm gonna go with that tried and true method. Should be able to at least find something in here. Especially with 4 different biological signatures, there should be something in this crater here. Down and on there. So yeah, my topics lately have been, mostly complaining about either this game or recently Star Citizen, because, that game has issues as far as I'm concerned. I don't really have much of an interest in it. But, I would like to find topics to talk about that aren't necessarily just, complaining, discussing, whatever word you want to use, about things that I wish would be better in some of these games that I enjoy playing. I can't tell, is this just... Okay, so it's just, there's a lot of pebbles and stuff on the ground, but okay, here we go. First biological signature. Now I just gotta find a place to land, and as usual, the terrain is such that it's very difficult to find a spot. Oh, alright, that works. Oh my god, can you just let me land, please? Oh, the irritation. So... Strange. All these first footfalls, though, are really going to add to the... Oh, again, my mouse keeps going outside of my window. I have to run in a window because I do... I have my OBS software running on the left side of my widescreen monitor, so I can keep track of when the video's paused and make sure it's recording properly and all of that. But running it in a window, because they didn't make it so that the mouse is exclusive to the window and it can't go outside of the window, it'll hit my taskbar. Let's see. There's some over here. So there'll be bacteria, there'll be this grass stuff. I don't remember. Oh yeah, the other two were both mountainous, difficult stuff, if I remember correctly. Grab this. As we wait for it to load. Is this the same stuff? I feel like it was a different color. I don't think this is the same stuff. Okay, so at least now we know it's a different kind of grass. So let me go back the other direction, see if I can find some more of that other grass, and then we'll come down here, grab this grass, and then we'll try to find the bacteria, because I'm pretty sure we're not going to have an opportunity to grab that. Like, for the one time that I actually sat down and got the fungoida was, you know... Wait. Is this different? Is this what we were getting before? I can't tell. Well, only one way to find out, I guess. Oh my god, I'm landed. Don't tell me my alignment is okay and then I can't land. Alright, here we go. So, I don't know, in my mind this looks different to me, but it's probably not. Oh, it is. Okay. So we don't have to go back up into the mountainy area. Okay, Rutexaflabellum, green. So that's going to be kind of weird, because now we have to pay attention to the color of it, because both of these are plant-looking things, and from above, they're going to be kind of hard to tell apart. That's going to make it a little bit more difficult to do this. Get our night vision set up, because that usually helps with spotting this stuff. Okay, I feel like these smaller patches are the ones we've been finding, and then, all right. So we'll get this small patch here. Hopefully that's the third one that we need. Then we can go over to that big patch, go back over to that patch we were just at a second ago. How close is this one? I'm going to fly to it. I feel like it's going to be faster for me to go this way and then to run all the way over there and then have to run all the way back. Because it doesn't seem like that far from the ship, but then, you know, when you're on foot like that, it is definitely a lot further away. Except when the interface decides it's going to do this. There we go. The arbitrary limitations of landing in this game just... it's going to continually irritate me. You're going to have to listen to me complain about it, because it's just... this is something they really need to fix. All right, we need 2 more of those, and then we need to find the bacteria. And I'm just going to actually just keep going in this direction and hope that we find some more. But we do need to get out of this crater if we want to find... So these smaller patches, those smaller patches are going to be... I think this might be far enough away. And of course, I stop right on the part where I can't land. Ugh, come on. Let me land. Let me land. And every time I move, I stop on the part where I can't land. Let me land! You guys are killing me with this. And then I was... Oh, let me out! Dudes. Dudes. The fiddle... I hate fiddly things like this. I really hate fiddly things like this. Especially when they provide you with no way of, you know, getting good at it. You just have to blindly hunt around and hope you stumble on it. Fungoida? What? I was not even paying attention. I was too busy focusing on trying to get to this stuff. I wasn't paying attention to what it was. That's the fungoida? So what else are we looking for then? I forgot what the other things were. Clearly, there's going to be some kind of bacteria on the planet, and we have to get outside of the crater for that, because they're usually out in the more flat areas. Oh my god. I have no patience for that kind of stuff. Alright. Come on. So we can grab... I don't even know. I don't even remember what else was on this planet. I'm pretty sure there was some kind of bacterium. There was fungoida. There was... whatever the first grass sample we got was. And unfortunately, I don't think there's a way for us to see that from the information menu here. Does the map tell us what was on here? So it tells us what we found. We found the Frutexa the fungoida. I know that there was a bacterium. Yeah, they should update this to tell you at least the minimum of what you found so far. I shouldn't have to remember what the planetary scan told me. It should just tell me that. Refining scan. The atmosphere is 100% ammonia. Was this an ammonia world? There's no way this was an ammonia world. So yeah, like this right here, this is another thing that really needs to be adjusted. Like this should tell me, until you identify it, it should just say Frutexa, fungoida, bacterium, whatever the other thing was, so that I at least know what I'm looking for, because I don't remember what was on the scan. That was last episode, or that was at the beginning of the episode 20 minutes ago. So I don't even know what else I'm looking for here. And unfortunately, I can't get back to my planetary scan information from here. I'd have to go back up into orbit to find that stuff. So yeah, that's a really unfortunate. Oops, that's a really nope. It's a really unfortunate way of making that work, because I seriously have zero recollection of what all three things were. I'm sorry, I need to look at it one more time. Let's see, this goes here. So yeah, it just tells me that there are 4 biologicals. So we got Frutexa and Fungoida. I think Tussock was one of them. And a bacteria. Tussock is a grassy one. And I think that's outside. That would be outside of a crater generally. The bacteria should also be outside of it, but realistically, a lot of times the bacteria is hard to see from the ground, so I'm not sure. I mean, that may just be the two things that we get for this one, because unless I can see another type of grassy... The tussock is a type of grass, I believe. So unless we happen to see some grassy stuff out over here... Like, I see something over there. But are they rocks, or are they actually something to look at? Those are rocks. Yeah, I have a feeling these are rocks. Yep, unfortunately, they're rocks. That's not useful. So yeah, I guess the only way of having a chance of figuring out what else is here is to climb back out of the atmosphere, go back into the planetary scan mode, and then yeah, there's no way for me to access that information from here. Well, okay, there's some. There was something... Okay, here we go. See, the render distance for this is just so insanely small. It's so insanely short that, you know, unless you're on the ground, you're going to have a hard time finding this. But I don't want to have to be on the ground to find this stuff. I should be able to spot it from the air. And then now we have an arbitrary you can't land here thing going on. Even though the ground is almost completely flat here. So this is, I'm pretty sure that this is different from what we saw just a minute ago, but I don't know. It looks like what we've already seen. What is this? Nope, it's different. Looks like wheat. So I guess the tussock looks kind of like wheat. It's tussock, right? Tussock divisa, yellow. All right, cool. So at least we have some more stuff to find. If I happen to spot some bacterium as we're flying along, we may grab that. But realistically, this is probably going to be the last sample that we get, because it's already hard enough to spot this, and the night vision trick doesn't work on the bacteria. So because the terrain is so crazy different. It's so varicolored. Spotting bacteria here is going to be exceedingly difficult unless, you know, what we spot happens to be just a crazy different color compared to everything else. Okay, ideally this will be what we need. All right, cool. So this will be 2, and then we need 1 more, and then we'll probably go ahead and call it good. Fortunately, there was plenty of stuff actually happening in this episode because of the biology that I found in this system, so not having a topic of conversation wasn't necessarily that much of a detriment to me. Let's see. All right, so that's going to be the... I want to make sure we're far enough away, though. I don't want to have to stop and then find out, oop, we weren't far enough away. Come on. Look at all this flat space that the little terrain map is telling me is flat, but it's not. It's so dumb. All right, come on. All right, so... this should be our last scan for this one. So hopefully you guys had lots of fun. Be sure to click that like button so the YouTube algorithm knows you did and sends the video out to more viewers. The more people we can get along for these for this trip, the better it's going to be, because we can discuss it in the comments and have all kinds of conversation. And then eventually, when we get the fleet carriers, we can all join together and go do a deep space expedition. Subscribe to the channel if you're not subscribed already, so when the next video comes out, it will show up in your video feed and you'll be able to watch it as soon as it becomes available. Channel members do get early access to all of my content, so be sure to click that join button down below. Check out the list of perks that will become available and decide if any of those are right for you. Your support is greatly appreciated and will help me approach the position of becoming a professional YouTuber rather than just doing this for fun. So again, thank you very much for your time. Hope you guys had fun, and I'll see you for the next one.